I'm gonna be putting videos up, so you're gonna need to stay as quiet as you can.
Aria, you don't need Me and you have a black face. Did you hear? Me and you. The Buddhist.
Oh.
Happening. Oh, he's showing us some video. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
What's gonna happen? Yeah, that's
She's
what she's
something.
showing you.
I'm gonna put a video up.
Dorothy, what the heck are you doing?
Y'all gotta be quiet. Y'all gotta stay quiet or you won't be able to hear.
Narwhals are mythical creatures related to unicorns. They have a magical horn that grants wishes and they love rainbows.
No. That's not right. It's not a horn. It's the narwhal's left front tooth. It's not going out.
It was a unicorn.
Teeth or tusks that grow outside of the mouth, like elephant, walrus. The narwhal is the only straight tusk in the world. One of the few teeth.
Everybody be quiet.
The tooth grows in a counterclockwise spiral. And it is flexible and can bend a foot in any direction without breaking. But that's not all. The tooth is actually inside out compared to the all the nerves are on the outside, which is a good reason that narwhals wouldn't want to use their central teeth as a sword. In fact, narwhals have never been witnessed using their tusks to fight. It is hard to know exactly what the tusk is used for because narwhals do not survive in captivity. Current theories suggest the tusk could be used to determine social rank, impress the ladies, or communicate information about the water it has traveled through. Narwhals migrate seasonally and travel in pods through Arctic waters.
If you're glitching on your
Follow ice-free waters closer to the coast. During the winter, they stay in a smaller area and live among the shifting ice and cracks. Their underwater life is very secretive. No one has reported seeing narwhals eat or mate underwater. The mysterious narwhal has inspired myths around the world. In the Middle Ages, the narwhal tusk was sold as a unicorn horn. Physicians believed it could cure the plague, increase virility, detect poison, and even raise the dead. No wonder it was worth 10 times its value. One of the most coveted substances in Europe. Utensils of French royalty and famed scepters were all the left front tooth of this mystical marvel.
They're not related to. I shark attacks.
Hang in there.
Narwhals have poison on somewhere.
Narwhals are mythical creatures related to unicorns. They have a magical horn that grants wishes and.
All right, hang on.
Nature can be pretty weird sometimes. You might already know about some animals that are, well, a little unusual. Anglerfish with the light dangling from its head, or the octopus with its 8 long tentacles. But one of the weirdest creatures on Earth is the narwhal. And I bet you can guess why. For weeks, are known for that long thing sticking out of their heads called a tusk. Some people even call them the unicorn of the sea, because even though unicorns don't really exist, the way narwhals' tusks stick out of their head makes it look a lot like a sword. A narwhal's tusk definitely looks straight, but what's even weirder is how it grows. Tusks are basically very long teeth, so long that you can see them even when the animal's mouth is closed. You might know of some other animals that have tusks, like elephants and walruses. What's different about a narwhal's tusk is that it doesn't grow out of the animal's mouth. Instead, the tusk grows through the narwhal's head. The tusk starts out small, like a normal tooth. But as the narwhal gets older, the tusk starts to grow bigger until it's touching the animal's lip. And then it just keeps growing, going all the way through to the other side. It's almost like the narwhal is getting a mouth piercing, except instead of jewelry, it has a giant tooth. Now, not all narwhals have tusks. All the male narwhals have them, but only a few females do. In many other types of animals that have tusks, both the males and females have them. The narwhal's tusk also looks very different from other animals' tusks. For one thing, they only have one tusk, while other animals usually have two. And if you put an elephant's tusk next to a narwhal's tusk, you can see that the elephant's tusk is a little curved and looks smooth on the outside. On the other hand, a narwhal's tusk is straight and has a shape that's kind of twisty looking. You're right. It doesn't look like soft-serve ice cream, but a narwhal's tusk definitely would not make a tasty snack. Between the way a narwhal's tusk grows and what it looks like, it sure is different from other animals' tusks. But the tusk is also special because it's so useful. A narwhal can use their tusk to sense the ocean around them, a little like how you use your sense of touch to sense the world around you. You take your finger and gently tap on your front teeth. You'll notice you can feel yourself tapping them. Since a narwhal's tusk is basically a giant tooth, scientists think that they can sense things in the water using their tusks. But what they're trying to sense and the exact ways they use their tusks in the water are actually kind of a mystery. Why? Well, it's really hard for scientists to learn about narwhals because narwhals are super shy. And they like to spend most of the day making deep dives into the ocean. So it can be hard to even see them, let alone study them. Plus, they live way out in the Arctic Ocean by the North Pole. The North Pole's cold and icy weather also makes it hard for people to study narwhals. So scientists don't know all of the ways narwhals use their tusks to sense the ocean around them, but they do have some good ideas. For example, scientists discovered that two narwhals will sometimes touch tusks. So they think that narwhals can use their tusks to talk to each other. And not too long ago, scientists saw some narwhals using their tusks to help them get food. They were bopping fish with their tusks so they were easier to catch and eat. So scientists think that narwhals use their tusks to feel things in the ocean around them, to talk to each other, and to catch fish. But we still have a lot of questions, like what narwhals are saying to each other when they touch tusks, and why only some female narwhals have them, and whether they can or anything else. I know I can't wait until they figure out the answers. Thanks for joining us. Do you have any questions about anything at all? Ask them right up the top, comment down below, or send us an email at info@myshow.com. Thanks. See you next time here at the fort.
I was so You're playing with your
If you guys are on a phone, you need to hold the phone still.
1, 2, 3. Check out my phone. I just have string. 1, 2, 3. Check out my phone.
Fred Johansson with Sea Goddess Whale Watching, right here in beautiful Monterey Bay, departing from Moss Landing at the mouth of the Submarine Canyon. Today we're going to be talking about baleen and toothed whales. There are two different types of whales, baleen whales and toothed whales. As you can guess, toothed whales have teeth, and baleen whales do not. They have what's called baleen, which is a record. They kind of look like a bristle brush or a broom. It has a lot of different segments. It's made out of carrot toast. We use that not to chew food, but to bolt food or skim food. So humpback whales have baleen, and they're gulpers, which means that they gulp fish, and then they probably extract their ventral pleats in their throat, and they push out all that water against the baleen, and the fish are trapped in there, so then they swallow.
Orcas.
Another different type of toothed whales is, an example is an orca. They actually use their teeth to rip flesh of marine mammals and fish. The other differences between them are they have different number of blowholes. Toothed whales have one blowhole, whereas baleen whales have 2 blowholes. In fact, when you're on our boat, sometimes you get close enough to see the blowholes on our baleen whales, such as our humpback whales. So on orca, you can tell what kind of blow it was, even from a distance, because the shape is different. Single blowhole animals will sort of be a lower and more puffy blow, whereas the double blowholes will sometimes be a heart shape or a V shape, which is very easy to spot. Another difference between toothed whales and baleen whales is echolocation. Only the toothed whales have echolocation, whereas the baleen whales do not. So, because of this, they have hunted and in different ways. They have a bunch of sensory organs on the front of their head. Those are called tubercles. And they used to be whiskers. And what they do now is they just act as a sensory organ so the whale can tell where the fish is and where it's moving. For more information, visit our webpage. And don't forget to share photos on our Facebook, Twitter.
Mom. Kylie, that's what
All
you're
right, now hang with me for a minute. This next video is super important, so listen very close.
Is it class JoJo? JoJo.
You're supposed to see.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nona, and I'm a naturalist down at Dana Wharf Whale Watching. And here we are stuck inside. So I thought I would do a little kitchen chemistry with you, talk about whales, do a little science today, and come up with some things that you could do at home while you're staying safe inside. So today we're going to start out by talking about whales and how they're grouped into 2 different groups. Now, whales are grouped by their feeding strategy. And what I mean by that is how they eat. Some whales are whales, and they're called odontous because they have teeth in their mouth. They don't chew, though, boys and girls. They just bite and swallow. Other whales are called baleen whales, or the fancy word Mysticetes. And these are the whales that have baleen plates that hang down in their mouth. Now, of these 2 groups of whales, and all whales are either a toothed whale or a baleen whale, our baleen whales are the biggest. And the biggest animal that has ever lived on this earth is a baleen whale. It is the blue whale down here. And so now we're going to talk about just what does that baleen look like. Well, I actually have some samples. Here's a real piece of a baleen that came from a gray whale. Here's a smaller one that I think is just a little front piece that probably came from a humpback whale. And boys and girls, this is a piece from a bowhead whale. Now, I was reading that these can get as big as 4 meters long. This is 1 meter right here. Let's see how long my piece of bowhead baleen is. There's 1 meter, 2 meters. Mine's a little more than 2 meters. Do you know the bowhead whale has the largest mouth in the entire animal kingdom? So, how do whales eat? They either have teeth and they bite and swallow, or they have this baleen that's made out of the same material as your fingernails, keratin, and they filter feed. Let's see if we can practice that in our kitchen. So over here, I have my little tiny sea of science, and inside it I just went around and got some things from my house. I have some marbles, I have some little toys I had. I went outside, I cut some grass. I'm going to sprinkle a little parsley. Now the tiny things are going to represent some of the food that baleen whales eat. For instance, we've all heard that baleen whales eat krill. This is actually real krill. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 10 krill in there. Do you know that the largest animal that ever lived on this earth, the blue whale, eats these tiny, tiny animals, and they say they can eat up to 8,000 of the pounds of krill a day. But not all baleen whales eat krill. Here's a picture of a humpback whale, and a humpback whale has small anchovies in its mouth. Some of these animals eat fish and have baleen in their mouth as well. So how does the baleen work? Well, the baleen hangs down from the top of their mouth. They have 2 rows of baleen on either side of their mouth. Here's a picture from a gray whale of that baleen hanging down from its mouth, just like that. Inside their mouth, they have 2 large plates. Now, this is kind of a sad picture. It was taken from a gray whale that died, but a scientist was able to go over and take out one of the plates. So that's from one side of its mouth with all these little plates that hang down. So when a baleen whale wants to eat, it opens its mouth. It takes in a huge volume of water and has the food inside there. Then it closes its mouth and it thrusts its tongue to the top. When it does that, the water goes out through the baleen, the food gets caught inside, and then they take their tongue, kind of like when you play with food sometimes, and kind of suck it all up into a ball and swallow it. So we're gonna come over here, and first we're gonna pretend that we're a baleen whale. So here we go. What a baleen whale is gonna do is filter its food. So if I go through here and do this and lift it up, I'm not going to be able to keep the big things, but I can keep the small things, and that's what the baleen does. It filters. Now, a toothed whale grabs its food and eats it. What I want you to do at home is think about this. Can you design a better way to be a baleen whale? Because I want you to come up with something that not only scoops, but forces the water out. Use the things in your house and make a baleen whale at home. Thank you, boys and girls.
All righty. So you all can't talk. I have you muted. I just have Mrs. Tarleton on because what we would like to do is do a little engineering design this week and have you post those on my Facebook page. I'm not talking about the CPS first grade page with all of the teachers. I'm talking about Morrissey's first grade safari, which I think most of you have probably seen, but I'll post it. I'll put the all the information in a message in Dojo. But Mrs. Charlton's going to talk to you about doing a little engineering design plan for baleen.
All right, Miss Morrissey, will you take yours off the screen sharing?
Yes, I will.
And that way I can see everyone all at once. And then will you go ahead and unmute everyone for a minute?
Yep.
All right, guys, you are getting unmuted, okay? Take turns talking. And I need you to make sure that you stop moving. So if you're moving right now, just kind of freeze and make sure your eyes are on me so that I can see that I have your attention, okay?
I can't.
No. Stop. Here's what happened. Here's what's happening. Here's what I'm seeing on the screen. My eyes are flying all over the place because children are moving all over the place. If you're going to join us in Zoom, you're going to need to sit still or turn your screen off.
I do see how Owen is sitting really nicely. He's like holding still. Everyone can see his face. I need you guys just to make sure that your face is right in the screen like that so I can interact with you. Now, I know this is a little bit different than usual, but we have to kind of just follow some guidelines. So what we're going to do, there's a lot of information in those videos. So first, I just want to take turns, and I want everyone to give me a little bit of feedback. So I'm going to start with Owen, and then Miss Morrissey is going to call you one at a time by name. You're going to give me any fact that you remember about whales. It can be about narwhals. It can be about baleen whales. It can be about any whale that you have information on. So you're just going to give me one fact. Okay? So if it's not your turn to talk, please make sure your voice is off. hold any questions that you have for the people around you or other people in your house. Just pause, keep your eyes on me, and we're going to listen to each
How
other.
do you turn the
okay?
screen from A?
All right, Owen, do you want to start us off?
They're mammals.
Did you hear him? He said they're mammals.
Oh, they're mammals. Very good. So whales are not fish. Even though they're in the ocean like fish, they are not fish. They are mammals. Does anyone have any idea what it means to be a mammal? Raise your hand if you know what it means to be a mammal. Miss Morrissey, will you call my names?
Dude,
Mammal means it doesn't eat meat. It eats plants, other stuff.
Well, some mammals do eat plants. You're maybe thinking about an omnivore, but actually some mammals do eat meat because actually we are mammals too. So we eat meat, we eat plants, and whales, fish, they also might take in some plant matter as well. Mammals mean something else. Does anyone else have a guess at what mammals mean? Raise your hand if anyone else has anything that you can tell me about mammals. Ooh, it looks like Owen's mommy has a fact.
He's too shy to say, but they're warm-blooded, right?
Yeah, they are. That's a fact. Mammals are warm-blooded.
He's being
Mammals
shy.
lay eggs.
It's Landon.
Zakia, did you come from an egg?
Huh?
Did you come from an egg?
No.
No, mammals are not born from eggs. Mammals are born live, just like babies, right? Or think about a dog when they have puppies. Dogs are mammals. People are mammals. So mammals are warm-blooded. They have live babies. We don't lay eggs. And is there anything else?
Hey, you watch this? No. 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 No.
There's a couple more facts. I'll tell you one more. The other one is that you have hair or fur on your body. Now, we don't have fur. You know, my arms aren't covered in fur, but we all have hair. So dogs have fur, people have hair, and believe it or not, whales have hair on them. It's really hard to see because it's really small, but they do have hair on their bodies. Okay, Owen, you get to pick the next person to give us a fact. Pick one more person. Say it one more time.
Landon.
Landon, give us any fact about whales. Narwhals, baleen whales, toothed whales, any whale fact you know.
Narwhals have big teeth. They have one big tooth.
Amazing. All right, you call on the next person, Landon.
Zakia.
Those whales are really, really big.
Oh yeah, some whales are gigantic. The biggest animal on all of Earth is actually a whale. Does anyone know what that whale is? Jude, do you know?
A blue whale.
You've got it. The blue whale is the biggest animal on the whole Earth. Bigger than an elephant. Biggest animal alive is a blue whale. All right, Zakia, call on someone else that hasn't spoken.
Isabella.
Isabella, give us a fact about whales.
A few mammals lay eggs.
Ooh, you are right. There's a couple exceptions to that rule. Do you know who they are?
Monotremes.
Monotremes. They say it right.
I can't hear you very clearly. Will you say it one more time?
Monotremes.
Monotremes.
Good. Can you tell me what that is?
Include the platypus.
You got it.
Good job, Isabella.
Do you have another question? So go ahead. What?
They have unique brains and are very intelligent.
They have very unique brains and they're very new challenge.
Very intelligent. Do you know what intelligent means, Isabella?
What?
Do you know what intelligent means? That word that you're just saying. Do you know what that means?
That they're very smart.
You've got it. They're very smart. All right, Isabella, will you pick the next person to give us a fact about whales?
Chris?
Chris, do you have a fact about whales?
Narwhal have a twin feature and a long tail. I forget what they're called.
Okay, will you say it for me one more time, Chris?
Chris, Solo.
Gotta hold the phone still. There's too much interference. You gotta hold the phone still, buddy.
Chris, you gotta hold it to where your face is right in the middle of the screen so we can see your face. Okay, can you call on the next person?
How about Jace? Yeah.
Well, the cheapest morning. I forgot this type of well. The tooth and baleen living.
Yes, there's whales and baleen whales.
Good job.
Good. Who do we have left? Who's not showing?
Alex Lee. Alex Lee, are you with us?
I already did. You did?
I don't think she's still with us.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you. Miss Morrissey already kind of showed you with the baleen whales. I am just going to zoom in and show you just part of this video that's showing you baleen actually in a whale's mouth. Okay, so you saw it outside of the whale's mouth. This is what it looks like inside the whale's mouth. I'm going to play it for just a couple seconds.
With large quantities of tiny prey, baleen whales filter feed enormous volumes of seawater. Today, baleen whales are completely toothless. Instead of teeth, they have rows of filtering combs called baleen.
Okay, so that's what it looks like inside the baleen whale's mouth. And they use that to just kind of catch a bunch of little tiny animals. Like if you ever looked in a creek and you see a bunch of little tiny things floating, that's what these whales are catching. It's called filter feeding. They kind of filter things out. So our challenge to you, and this will be posted on Facebook and sent in Dojo, is we're going to give you this engineering design page, okay? So you guys are all familiar with this engineering design. Ask, imagine, plan, create, improve. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am asking you a question. And if you have a printer at home, you can print this. If you don't have a printer, that's okay. You can just draw these 4 squares on a piece of paper and do this part. Because the ask part I've already done for you. Can anyone read? Raise your hand and Miss Morrissey will call on you. And Miss Morrissey, if you click up at the top to show grid video, you'll be able to see them all at once. Can anyone read this question to me? What am I asking you to do? I see Jude's hands up. Jude, you want to read it?
Yes.
Okay, nice and clear, buddy.
How might you design a baleen plane to that catches lots of food?
Perfect job there. Now, you know how when we usually do these in class, I give you a set number of materials, or your teacher gives you materials. Like we say, okay, you can have 10 popsicle sticks, 2 balloons, 12 inches of masking tape. You know how we usually do that? Well, it's a little bit different now because you're home and I can't pass out materials for you. So your plan sheet's going to look slightly different. We're still doing the imagine, and I put a little whale here to inspire you. You're just going to sketch a couple examples. What does a Waylene plate or a baleen plate look like? Sketch a couple ideas. And then for your plan, you're going to pick your own materials from your house. It can be anything from your kitchen. It can be from the junk drawer. It can be from your playroom. You're going to pick. What do you think to do a baleen plate? Now remember, this is what a baleen plate looks like. So let this kind of be inspiration for you. All right. After you plan, you are going to build it. And just like in the video that Miss Morrissey showed you, then you're going to test your design. So you're going to get just like a bowl of water, drop some rocks in it, sprinkle some like herbs from your cabinet, like parsley or oregano or pieces of lettuce. And you're going to scrape your baleen plate along the top of the water and see if it grabs any of the food. And then you can improve on your design if you want to. And right here on the bottom right, you're going to say, what's one way you can make your design better? So what we're doing is we're using our creativity to be innovative. We're taking what we know about baleen plates. We're taking how we know that baleen plates look, and you're going to get creative and make a design at your house. Okay, so you're sketching a couple ideas, you're listing your materials, then you test your design, and then we can always improve. No one's perfect. So you are going to pick one way that you could improve your design. Okay, do you understand my directions? I'm going to stop screen sharing so I can see your faces. Do you understand my directions? Raise your hand if you have any questions. That's good. No questions? Okay, I'm going to start calling on you. I'm going to have a couple questions and I need you to answer them for me, okay? All right, so Zakia, do I tell you what materials you have to use? No, you get to pick what you want. Are you allowed to use anything that you want to use?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And you can use stuff in the bathroom, the kitchen, the junk drawer, your playroom, your book bag. It doesn't matter. How do you test your design, Landon? How do I want you to test it? What do you have to do?
Put like grass, rocks, lettuce inside of like your sink or something.
Yeah.
See if we can get it.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. And I love how you gave the example of grass. I didn't even think of that. Everyone has grass, so that's a really good idea. Jude, is anyone's design going to be perfect?
No.
No, so everyone can fill out the improved section somehow, right? Give me one way. Now, Miss Morrissey is going to post this on Facebook, and we want to see a picture or a video of everyone's design. So you can show a video of you testing it in the water. You can show a picture of your design. You can do a video where you're explaining if it worked well or how it worked. Anything you want to do, but everyone has to post something in the comments, okay? So you are going to go on Facebook. Does everyone's parents have Facebook?
Yes.
And you're going to follow Miss Morrissey's Facebook page. Miss Morrissey, will you tell them that page one more time?
Yeah, and I'll post it in Dojo too. It's Morrissey's First Grade Safari. And what you're going to see, that last little clip that Mrs. Tarleton showed you, where she showed you the inside of the whale's mouth and you could see all that baleen. You're going to see that almost that same picture on a post that I've already posted on that page. And underneath that post, that's where in the comments, that's where you're going to put your video or your picture of you and your engineering design. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm really excited to see what you all post, and you guys have done a great job. Most of you have sat really still and paid really close attention, shared some really cool facts. So I'm looking forward to meeting with you again. We miss you all like crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. Good job, guys. It was super nice to see your faces. And here's what's going to happen. We're going to meet once a week, and we're going to keep studying whales. And Mrs. Charlton and I are going to have some plans. This time we'll have maybe an engineering design plan, or we'll have something else going on too that we're going to have you post in that Facebook.
And I will comment on your Facebook post, but when I comment, it'll say Chillicothe Primary STEM. But that's me. That's Miss Tarleton. Or every once in a while, it posts under my full name, Heather Tarleton. But either way, I'll try to make sure it posts under Chillicothe Primary STEM. So if I'm commenting on your Facebook post, that's actually me, okay?
Okay, great. So Christopher, are you hearing me, Chris? Chris?
I think he's muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Chris?
I'm gonna log off, Miss Morrissey.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Tarleton.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody's just coming.
Hi.
Christopher.
Left.
Everybody's just seeing me.
You
Bye,
need to sit still while we're doing Zoom. You need to sit down with the phone while we're doing Zoom.
Okay.
Yep, that's right there. That's absolutely perfect. Alice Lee, you got to stay in one spot when we're doing Zoom.
Oh, he's sneaky. He went outside and got a popsicle.
If you guys want to chat with each other for a minute, you can before I close the meeting. Good job.
What?
Do you want to stay and talk Saturday?
Hi, Kylie.
Oh.
People roll.
Can't put it.
Bye. Freedom anymore. Talk to you next week.
Say bye, Kylie.
See you later. Hi, Landon.
How you doing?
How is your stream?
Is he your sister?
I would.
How's everybody doing? Are you getting
I'm
bored
good.
yet? Not bored yet? It's crazy when everyone's not muted. It's too noisy. Everyone interferes.
I don't even know how you get to that big screen thingy. I don't know how you do it, but it's weird. Your sister is saying bye. Alice.
I'm going to close it up. I have to go mow my grass. My grass is out of control.
Poison.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Design.
I